Well, first, coming back to the frustration and getting to
Hmm.
the messaging, I'm going to kind of frame it based off of looking at yourselves as leaders before actually going forward and doing everything else, right? Because that's, to me, the key. It's the layer beneath it that needs to stabilize first and make sure it's in an alignment. So I've created a framework in a past around the four S's. So signal, state, structure, and support. And if your state is not in the state of regulation or in clarity, which, goes back to Shimon, then the signal is not going to come through. It's going to be distorted. And so you won't be able to understand what messaging you need to create, what you need to do for your customers, what you need to change in terms of your team to bring it to the next stage of growth. So for me, a lot of it and what I deal with leaders when there's growth and change happening is making sure you take a step back internally and shifting yourself first so that you're able to fully understand what you need to do before you start creating from there, right? Because AI, for example, it's an amplifier. Whatever you put in, garbage out, right? So like you want to make sure that's cleaned up first before you end up taking anything to the next stage. So again, it's like looking back, sensing what it is that's aligned now versus before. It might be looking at meetings that don't work anymore, looking at goals that don't work anymore, looking at, your messaging, like Jenna's saying as well, and going from there.
Didn't know you were going to take it to the leader. I mean, yeah, so there's a big difference between the leader of a scrappy $1 million company where they're, the pull up your sleeves and get involved and like do the thing. And then somebody who's leading a larger team of 100 people or so. That's a very different mindset. So I'm curious, like, are we seeing people decide that this is maybe a moment when we go into a strategy role and we hire like a business CEO? Or are we seeing CEOs maybe invest in because I feel like this is the stage where you stop being a founder and you start being a CEO. So yeah, you can either hire it or you can get an executive coach to teach you how to be a big boy or girl.
Absolutely. And I think, you can do any of those things, right? It's just a matter
Sure.
of where you're at and what your executive team is at with you, right?
Mm.
So it's when I talk about leadership, it's not necessarily just the solo founder, it's also the executive team that you have on board with you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're talking a lot about the teams. So Shimon, I want you to go in a minute, but I do want to talk about that because there's two schools of thought, and I think neither is right or wrong. It's just what's right for you. One of them is, okay, the folks who got us here aren't going to get us here. So we need to clean house and get a whole new team in. And then some people look and they're like, okay, well, this person, my college roommate's girlfriend, probably shouldn't do the marketing anymore, but maybe we don't need to fire her. Maybe she could go work over here in this other role. So sometimes people look to try to find a different seat for someone who might be a loyal employee who's just now the company has outgrown what they can do for them. So what do you guys see more of? I see a lot of holding on to who got you here and being loyal almost to the detriment of the future of the company.
Yes. So I would say to that point, I would say that for a role, you need to interview as if that person is not the boyfriend or girlfriend of someone, and you need, because
Like interview the person who's currently here.
you're 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 you are responsible for a company. Now, it's not a family. The company is your first priority, and you need to interview. Yes, there are some people that can grow into a different role. And I grew into a different role too, and to a different stage of a company. But that's not the case for everyone, and they may not be a good fit. So either they can go somewhere else inside the organization. I noticed, by the way, someone who's a chief customer went into operations. He was given the opportunity because he showed also abilities, not just to learn, but to do that. So it has to be by the person. You need to interview people for the role, for what is good for the company. So I would not, I mean, yes, you don't have to let go of the person who was there if they can contribute somewhere else, but they need to interview internally for a different role.